You were one of the key participants of the Inter-Afghan peace talks in Moscow. Up to what extent the results were according to your expectations?
The Afghan gathering in Moscow was a greatly important historic event. For the first time, the Afghan people from all walks of life, from all thinking, from all segments of Afghanistan, including our brothers, the Taliban, got together to discuss the future of Afghanistan and the ways and means towards peace and stability. And to have had this meeting in Moscow was of immense significance. Here, I must, before all other issues, thank the Afghans in Russia who have organized this, and the facilitations that the government of Russia provided for us to get together here. It was a significant expression of goodwill by the government of Russia towards Afghanistan and its people.
What are the key disagreements with Taliban?
There were not many issues of disagreement. You saw the proceedings of the meetings. All Afghans expressed a very genuine desire for peace and for unity and for a strong Afghanistan. The Taliban did the same thing in very emotional speeches and very nice speeches. So did all other Afghans. There were, of course, issues that had to be resolved, and those issues were then referred to our next meeting, hopefully in Doha, in Qatar, that they should be discussed. But the theme, the general feeling of the meeting was that we must make sure that the meeting is concluded with success and that a statement is made for the Afghan people for the return of peace and stability, which is what the Afghan people have been desiring for a long time. So that is what we accomplished.
Can you please name some serious disagreements with Taliban?
None on the issue of the rights for Afghan women. There was a clear expression of the rights of Afghan women, political, economic, social, for participation in education in all walks of life. There was strong support for the strengthening of state institutions, governmental institutions, and continuing with them. There was strong desire for peace. There was strong desire for international guarantees for Afghanistan, for good relations with neighbors, for an Afghanistan being the home of all Afghans. These were very significant points.
As we see, both the United States and Russia are after peace in Afghanistan. But why not jointly? Do you think that both these countries are after their own objectives?
Eventually, it will be an exercise together. The fact that we all came to Moscow, the fact that the United States Special Envoy, Ambassador Khalizad, spoke favorably of this meeting yesterday to the media. The fact that all the participants of this gathering yesterday and the day before yesterday spoke of their support for Ambassador Khalizad for the US efforts for peace in Afghanistan, and the approval of the Doha conversations or talks already between them and the Taliban, which was in the statement. These are all signs of a cooperative environment between Russia and America and Afghanistan, and we hope it will be strengthened, and we hope it will become more meaningful and unifying for us.
Do you believe that the United States, Russia, Pakistan, and Iran would be honest in the Afghan peace deals?
Well, we know countries have their interests. Of course, we as Afghans have an interest. What is important is that we find points of convergence, and peace in Afghanistan is in the interest of all our neighbors, definitely, and that's what we should be trying.
Do you think the current peace talks are efficient in bringing all Taliban groups together to accept ceasefire as the initial step towards peace before the full withdrawal of foreign military troops?
This ceasefire is extremely important. Ending the suffering of the Afghan people is of the highest priority for all of us. This is exactly an issue that we discussed, and this is exactly an issue that will be taken up in future meetings. And definitely there is an agreement that as soon as there are concrete results these negotiations, and especially the negotiations between the Americans and the Taliban movement, we will reach a stage where there should be a ceasefire, definitely.
Was the ceasefire discussed in the Moscow Inter-Afghan peace talks?
People referred to it in their speeches, very, very much. Everybody did. I did, others did. But it was not discussed as an agenda for this statement that was issued yesterday, because agreement could not come on that. But it was decided that such issues will be discussed in the next meeting.
What do you think the intention of Taliban would be about ceasefire as an initial step to be taken towards peace?
It will have to happen. I mean, you can't have peace without a ceasefire. Surely it will have to happen sooner rather than later.
As you're aware, President Ghani had previously said that he is ready to personally pay an ultimate price for the peace. But recently, he has shown disagreements with the peace talks run by Khalilzad and as well as the Moscow conference. In your opinion, what does President Ghani want?
Well, he definitely wants peace, there is no doubt there. And surely there are other ways that he's thinking of. And we hope that we will all come together on a common platform as Afghans for peace. And he's our president, and we respect him. And surely his views are very, very important for us. And surely he considers our views as well important. The point is, as Afghans, to come up with a common plan and platform and proceed.
Don't you think the current position of President Ghani is very similar to your position in late 2013, when you did not sign the BSA with the United States in contrast to the demands of public? And now, President Ghani does not show you a positive attitude towards the peace talks.
I did not sign the BSA because I put peace as the condition first. If you remember, in the jargon I said the Americans must first make sure that we have peace, guarantee peace, then I will sign the BSA. So it was the reverse.